Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another session of this course on Islamic inheritance law, in which we shall be looking at the share of uterine siblings. Let's start off with text from the Sirajiyya. وأما لأولاد الأم فأحوال ثلاث: السدس للواحد، والثلث بين الاثنين فصاعدا، ذكورهم وإناثهم في القسمة والاستحقاق سواء، ويسقطون بالولد وولد الابن وإن سفل، وبالأب والجد بالاتفاق. The Quran mentions the share of uterine siblings in Ayah 12 of Surah Nisa. The Muslim jurists are agreed that the brothers and the sisters mentioned in this ayah refers to the uterine siblings, while the brothers and sisters mentioned in Ayah 176 refer to the full and consanguine siblings. So, if the deceased person dies as a kalala, then the share of the uterine brother and sister is 1/6 each, and if there are two or more, they share a 1/3 share equally. Kalala in this ayah refers to a deceased person who dies without a child, and without an agnatic grandchild, and without a father, and without a true grandfather. The uterine siblings would be totally excluded from inheriting by each one of these four heirs. There are three possible scenarios for the inheritance of uterine siblings. The third scenario is probably worth considering first. As we mentioned in the previous slide, the uterine siblings are totally excluded by a child, an agnatic grandchild, however low, by the father, and by the true grandfather, however high. If there is only one uterine sibling, then his or her share is 1/6. If there are two or more uterine siblings, they together inherit a share of 1/3, which is divided equally amongst them. In this example, the heirs are a uterine brother, the mother, and a full paternal uncle, meaning full brother of the deceased's father. The uterine brother inherits his Quranic share of 1/6, and the mother inherits her Quranic share of 1/3 in this scenario. The full paternal uncle inherits the residue of 1/2 as the only residuary heir. In this example, the heirs are a uterine brother, two uterine sisters, the mother, and a full paternal uncle. The Quranic heirs are given their fixed shares first. This means the three uterine siblings together inherit 1/3 divided equally amongst them. The mother inherits 1/6. The paternal uncle inherits as a residuary the remaining share of 1/2. In this example, the heirs are two uterine brothers, two full brothers, the husband and the mother. This is a well-known case in Islamic inheritance law referred to as the Al-Himariya case or Al-Mushtaraka. After the Quranic heirs, namely the mother, the father, and the two uterine siblings, have been given their shares of 1/6, 1/2, and 1/3, there is no residue, so the full brothers inherit nothing. It is said that Hadrat Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu anhu presided over this case. The two full brothers argued that even if their father was a donkey, himar, or a stone, hajar, cast into the sea, and they had no paternal relationship, they still had the same and equal relationship with the deceased as the uterine brothers through the same mother. Hadrat Umar reconsidered and allowed the full brother to share in 1/3 with the uterine siblings. This is known as the Himariya rule, which is accepted by the Shafi'i and Maliki fiqh on the juristic principle of istihsan, meaning to seek the best solution. The Hanfi fiqh rejects the Himariya rule on the basis that the Quranic injunction of giving the uterine siblings a 1/3 share must be adhered to, and that the full brothers must strictly inherit as asabat. They cannot share in a Quranic entitlement. The principle being, once an asaba, always an asaba. An interesting situation occurs if we add a paternal grandfather, a case known as Shib al-Malikiya case, which we will discuss in the session on paternal grandfather. The paternal grandfather excludes the uterine siblings. What is the situation for the full brothers who opted to inherit as uterine brothers when it was to their advantage? Are they excluded as well? Or will they now reassume their paternal link and inherit as full brothers? This brings us to the end of this session. Inshallah, see you in the next one.